Okay, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today I want to talk a little bit about credit scoring and the credit bureaus. There are 3 credit bureaus that basically control all of the credit scoring system that all of us abide by and have to follow their rules. TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. These 3 bureaus are responsible for all of the lending that takes place from installment debts to mortgage debts to credit cards, all of the above. So it's imperative that all of us understand how the credit system works and the pros and cons of it. And in this video, I'm going to talk about many of those things. And one thing to note is that when you're running your credit, a lot of people think, oh, if I get my credit run multiple times, I'm going to get dinged, my score is going to drop down. And that's partially true. If you're running your credit based on a certain industry or a certain type of industry, say for example, you want to buy appliances, refrigerator, washer, dryer, etc. If you're running your credit based on just installment debts by itself, you can have it run several times and it won't affect your score. If you do the same thing for a mortgage, you're shopping for a mortgage and you have 2 or 3 different options that you're looking at, they all 3 can run your credit and it's not going to affect the scoring. And the same thing with credit cards. If you're trying to get new credit cards, it's the same exact system and process. You're only going to get dinged if you cross-reference or cross-apply to different type of debts: credit card, installment, mortgage, which are your 3 main debts. So just keep in mind that it's okay to run your credit when you're shopping for something. I would avoid, however, shopping for a bunch of different things at the same time. That would definitely impact your score. Okay, now I want to talk a little bit about the balances on your credit report and how it affects the scoring. So most of us have credit cards and installment debt, whether it's an automobile payment or student loan, and some with mortgages. Let's just look at credit cards, for example, because most people have credit cards. Let's say that you have a balance $3,000 and your limit is $10,000. That's a 30% ratio. That is favorable in terms of the algorithms for scoring on credit reports with all 3 bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. If you look at, let's say, an installment debt and you have a student loan that you've had for 5 years and your original balance was $100,000, but you've only paid maybe $10,000 on it in a 5-year period because most of it's interest. So your balance is $90,000, but the maximum was $100,000. So you're at a 90% ratio on that particular debt. That's going to negatively affect your scoring. So keep in mind when you're looking at purchasing products that you should always consider what the ratio of the debt is before you go and purchase something else. It's always helpful to pay down those debts to a 30% ratio or so, or pay them off, whatever is convenient for you and what you're capable of doing. So keep that in mind, that the ratio of the debt that you owe versus the balance is always going to affect the score in a negative or positive way, depending on what the balance is at the time they snapshot your credit. Okay, hope that helps. Okay, now I want to talk about credit history. It's always favorable in terms of scoring to have longer term debts that you've been making payments on. So if you're opening up new credit cards and getting a new deal and then closing them, that does not help you, believe it or not. So if you get a Capital One offer, it says, oh, transfer your debts for 0%, and you jump on it, and then you close your other account. And then 6 months later, you get another offer that says, bring your debt over here and pay it off. We'll give you 0 interest for 6 months. Those types of actions are going to negatively affect your scoring because your history of the debt is too short. So even though it's a smaller percentage of how they use the algorithms to grade it, it still negatively affects, even if it's 5 or 10 points. Well, keep in mind when you're applying for a mortgage, sometimes 5 or 10 points could be the difference between 1.25% interest rate when it comes time to price your loan. So keep that in mind. Okay, next I want to talk about late payments, default payments, collections, and bankruptcies. These are all negative impacts to the credit scoring system. So late payments are obvious. If you have late payments, the further they go, the worse it becomes. So if you have a 30 or 60 day late, it's going to be on your credit report. Depends on the company. So if you ever have a problem making late payments, try to work something out with the vendor. They'll typically work with you. So those are pretty avoidable in most cases. When it comes to defaulting or collections, those are a little more difficult. You may or may not know about that. Sometimes you could have let's say, utility bill that you forgot to pay, or you moved and the bill didn't get sent and didn't go through the forwarding process, and now 6 or 8 months later you've got a collection on your credit report. The good news is that you can repair that relatively easy. You can contact the credit bureau, get the phone number from them. When you print out your report, typically it'll show it on the report. You call the vendor directly and work the payment out to get that paid off and removed from your credit report. After you get it paid off, you've got to go back to the credit company and request that it be removed from your credit report. They will do that that. Everything takes a little bit of time, but you can get that cleaned up. Bankruptcies are the worst offender. That's going to hurt your score quite a bit. It's going to last about 7 years. However, you can reestablish credit even with a bankruptcy by going out and having trade lines, whether it's your existing credit card or a new car or something. But you're not dead in the water. You can still recover and recoup some of those points by reestablishing your credit, making payments on time with other debt, so on and so forth. Okay, again, I want to thank you for watching my YouTube channel, Texas Mortgage, and all the information that I've provided here is readily available online. And also you can contact me directly if you have any questions or recommendations that I could provide for you. I'd be happy to do so. And also I'll provide all of the phone numbers for 3 credit bureaus that you can contact if you have any issues and try to get your credit repaired as well. Thank you. All the credit bureaus can be found. I just looked on ChatGPT, and here's all the numbers and the websites that you can go to help you repair your credit or work out something that you need to work out, and find phone numbers to call for vendors and get your credit cleaned up. So again, thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel, Texas Mortgage. I hope that this information has been helpful for you, and together we can get your credit score higher. And when it comes time to purchase a house, please, by all means, let me know if I can help you anywhere in the state of Texas. Look forward to serving you soon. Have a great day and good luck with your credit.